Hey everyone, welcome to Zeitgeist Zealots. I'm Forrest.
And I'm Major.
And Robbie's just munching away on that meatball sub.
Robbie's still eating that sub.
Really? You guys already started? How long? You just...
We're about 20 minutes in. We just, we went over all three seasons of Westworld.
Oh, you went downstairs?
I was downstairs for a max of minute.
That's all it took. We're like, oh, is Robbie gone? Let's go. Start now.
Well, yeah, sorry.
It says 30 seconds. Should we just do it again?
Yeah, we can.
No,
just
we're committed now. We're committed now. I don't know if we
what? No, just like Marvel, we should be able to pivot going 5 seconds after we start something.
Maybe we should see if I'm there when we started.
Oh, well, speaking of Marvel and missing things, like missing the intro, let's talk about Miss Marvel.
Okay.
Yeah, so this was the final episode of this show, and I think they tied everything up in a nice bow. They did the typical Marvel routine of making the bad guy the exact same as the hero. Bravo Marvel.
I'm getting tired of it. Like, it's almost too cliche at this point.
But at least his powers were turquoise and hers were magenta, so they are different.
By Marvel law, they have to have different power sources. Even like they have to have different
colors, not necessarily different power source, just a different color.
Right, different colors for the power. Exactly.
Now, what happens if there's a rainbow man that comes in? Then what?
I know, they'll just have to be, I don't know. Well, luckily I haven't gotten that far.
It depends on what his power set is,
well,
I imagine.
Tip, you need to read Jeff Johns' Green Lantern, because they do have the Rainbow Lantern Corps.
Well, if it's
not the Rainbow Lantern Corps, but they have a corps for each color.
It sounds amazing, the Rainbow Lantern Corps. It's like the Power Rangers of the galaxy, which is basically
like a red, orange, yellow, a green, blue, and a purple, and a violet, an indigo. It's like 8 colors, but yeah, that's basically just Jeff Johns'
our powers combined.
And they basically just turned Miss Marvel from Mr. Fantastic in the comics to Purple Lantern in this, so which
I'm okay with, because we're getting Mr. Fantastic anyway. So like, how many stretchy people do we need?
What irks me or what vexes me is that like the producers, Feige, the writers just out and say like, yeah, we didn't want to do Mr. Fantastic's powers before Mr. Fantastic came out, but they're all just like, this was the best way to tell Kamala's story,
with the stretchy man.
But I just wish they would just be honest. However, she did do like the whole embiggen thing, like where
she said it, for the fans. She said it. She said the thing. She had
the big fists, but they were purple and not, her
catchphrase,
just elastic
catchphrase.
So I guess the bad guy in this comm run wasn't really the bad guy. He was sort of just, not using his powers responsibly.
He was just a troubled youth who found out his mom abandoned him, and he just got new powers and he can't control them. And he's not really the bad guy, but there needs to be some kind of antagonist. But like, let's just talk about the DC, the Department of Damage Control.
Damage Control, yeah, the real villains.
What is up with this terrible writing and just overall? So like, I think one of the best parts about this show has been the exposure to like Pakistani culture, but I think what this show, the season finale, does beautifully well is ignore American culture and the amount of school shootings we have. Like, to have your season finale be a shootout inside of a high school in this country where you have like school shootings like once a week, like sensitive writing that script is playing with fire, that you'd even be able to like release that week, like on the scheduled week it was supposed to come out on.
Yeah, well, did they have actual guns? They didn't really have like actual guns. They just had Quake guns or whatever.
Yeah, the sonic guns. I like how they have that Iron Man sound. So like, you still get that really super
Quake
guns charge up.
And I'm trying to remember, was like Damage Control outside the high school the entire time, and they just waited for them to plan their whatever the hell they did, their Home Alone crap, or were they waiting for damage control to show up?
Remember, she had to call in for backup, so they were outside waiting for backup. You have to call everyone that's not here right now. Now, call for backup. So you see like this portrayal, like we talk about. Let's get into like so we see like
Yeah, told her to back off.
There's that one DODC agent, Mr. Agent. I'm gonna call him. He's probably like some kind of secret scroll or whatever. Yeah, that guy. And then you've got this racist bitch over here, who is just disobeying orders, right? Like he tells her to shut it down. Like there's some, like don't do this in a school. We know it's bad press. Oh, whoa. So the writers knew this was going to be in poor taste.
Yeah,
decided to do it anyway. Defeated my own argument.
But I don't know. It just seemed to me like the amount of time it took for them to plan, and like it was just really convenient. Damage control didn't attack them while they were planning that really elaborate chalkboard plan. So that was nice of them, and also the fact that they probably could use that time just to get Kamran away because she knows she might walk on air.
It did lead to I think maybe the best scene of the TV show, and it was purposely shot like that, to be like the highlight of it when they're playing like that EDM dubstep kind of song, and they're all rollerblading, wearing like the same like red jacket.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that scene. Right, you had some science going on, like the guys with the guns, the soldiers like run into this room, and there's a skeleton with a knife and it stabs a balloon, and science, and then there's a huge foam explosion and they all get knocked out. Yeah, I like that. Like that was a huge success in Home Alone. Just do Home Alone.
Yeah, definitely a little Home Alone, right?
Yeah, well, I guess her big not reveal, but she gets her costume that her mom made, and also worst parents ever.
Oh yeah,
they raise hell when she wants to go to a cosplay convention, but when she wants to be a superhero and fight crime and risk her life, that's totally fine with them. They're just proud. But when she wants to go to a cosplay, convention, they draw the line there. Although I guess they've evolved since then.
They've grown up, and what else is involved is their sewing skills. Because that costume was a huge step up from the Hulk costumes we saw earlier in the season.
Oh yeah.
Was she just not carrying that first round? And when did she have time to sew that? I guess there was a cut. There was a cutaway of time, which 1 week later I hated. Whatever.
They did it 1 week. They did it 1 week later.
Yeah, they did the 1 week later. Yeah, for the big reveal.
It tells you how enthralled I was with the episode.
Do we want to talk about the big reveal? Should we talk about? At least it's better than making me watch 6 minutes of credits. If they just threw a post-credit scene in the end, then I'm cool with that. But
are we talking about the
M word?
The what word major? No, I'm kidding. The M as in
M as in major. Yes.
Okay. No, it's not, because I'm not ready.
That's a different podcast.
Did I lose someone? Everyone still there?
Oh yeah.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. Sorry.
Listener, are you still there?
Kool-Aid,
Tweet us
Kool-Aid,
at Zealot Podcast on Twitter. Let us know you're still there.
Were you ever there?
Hello,
Anyway.
It's me you're looking for.
So I'm trying to remember what happened in order. So she got the costume, then they do the badass, her running through the sky on the
which
purple.
I like. They shot that visually fantastic, but watching that scene, sorry to interrupt you, it made me think, man, how shitty are these superpowers? Captain, Iron Man didn't have superpowers, and he could fly. She has superpowers, and she can't fly.
She's actually
I would not
going
want to run everywhere. That sounds.
She's going slower than if she was just on the ground because she has to wait for the purple platform to.
Yeah, and she's rising at an angle.
It looked like she got pretty good at it, though.
She did, but all you need to do is
but it takes more time. It takes more time. All you need is one bird to
hit you. If one bird hits her, she is flying. She is down, and it just depends how far off the ground she is.
Wait, does she not have super strength and durability?
Catch herself.
Probably
she can make constructs. Well, she can make shields and stuff.
So,
but she can't. She doesn't have super speed.
So
she can't
all
fly,
of her ability is based on her reflexes, right?
Well, no, she's like Green Lantern.
Get good at
she
popping
makes
those
purple
out.
Right, but you have to be like
constructs.
super fast.
Sometimes it
thinking.
protects her. Sometimes it
Not
protects her.
really.
Did she not like
Sure.
make some
she
wings
doesn't really-
or like a bird construct or a glider?
No.
Like, good God.
No.
What?
She can't be as cool as Green
Why
Lantern.
can't
She's
you
like
do so much?
she's very much,
She
She
could
can't
Powered
maybe.
down Green Lantern.
she can
She
only
can
make
make a
like
slide.
fists and shields.
If you can make a
That's about
fist,
it.
you can make a
She can make a
freaking
slide.
like, thing that is long and flat and
And
wing-like.
Fish shields
You know.
and platforms.
Can you imagine
and
if she's
fists.
like up on like the Empire State Building, like looking to fight crime, and here's crime, and then just like creates like a slide construct and just does like whee, just does like a water slide
Hasn't she
all the way
made like
down,
a
and just
She makes
slide?
like
like
a
kicking
giant-
him in the face at 100
Dude,
miles
she's
an
about
hour.
as useful
She's
as
making a 100-foot slide and slides where she needs to be. How about that?
Exactly.
Makes a giant slide. Okay, is that what you said?
She just makes a
All
giant.
right.
Yeah, she just starts up high and then just makes a giant slide
bad
wherever she
guys-
needs to go in the city.
The bad guys will never see
for
her coming.
superpower. Might as well be
Um,
create bonfire. I mean,
She's the best.
I mean,
cantrip
if she
in
had
the
just
game.
if she had just made a giant slide, she wouldn't even have to like deal with damage control. She could just like slid right to the docks. And by the way, I thought like who's Red Dagger? He said I have a special friend waiting for him. He's like, oh, is it gonna be Captain Marvel? Is it gonna be It's sort of like the Reed Richards thing in
it's me,
WandaVision.
motherfucker.
It was no one. We never even see who it was.
I thought it was him. Wasn't
No,
he?
no, he wasn't even there because he was in Kazakhstan. No, not Kazakhstan. Excuse me, Pakistan. Shows you how much I pay attention to this show.
I was gonna
he was
say
in
that's-
Pakistan.
So I rewatched the episode to refamiliarize myself before the podcast. I fell asleep. It's so boring
Yeah.
sometimes.
Oh,
I wouldn't even say it's.
But I
just
did watch
like-
that fun, exciting scene. But yeah, there were parts where I was drifting in and out.
It's basically it's very much like a Disney Channel original, but with a much higher budget. So like this, I feel like this could have come out in like the early 2000s Disney Channel, and I think I would have enjoyed it then when I was like in middle school. Or
I mean, that's pretty
but-
peak Disney.
it does seem to be more geared towards kids.
yeah.
yeah, it's just like it's that level of writing. You're not supposed to take it very seriously, but at the same time, you're kind of being blackmailed into watching this show because if you want to keep it in continuity,
It's
Yeah, they're all connected.
it's
with
more Disney rubbish.
especially with that reveal at the very end
Yeah.
that apparently, which made
I
about
wasn't sure how exactly
zero
it
cents.
happened.
I'm gonna say 0 cents. I was giving it like maybe 5% cents, but I'm going the full zero. Like,
The
how
full
is she
zero?
how is she having?
She
How is
just-
she a mutant if her powers come from her bracelet?
Well, no, because
and-
he redid it. What they did, they retconned themselves. That's what we like to call shitty writing when you retcon your
They
shit.
retcon the retcon.
And they retcon themselves in the same season because they wanted it to be a twist, right? Because he analyzes her blood at the beginning when he's doing all the tests and he doesn't catch it. But it's like, oh, now that we're in here at the end of the season, like, let's go ahead and reveal this stupid thing. Which I understand they tacked on because originally, like, that wasn't the plan. Oh, and I should also state, I did not like this reveal at all.
No.
It
was-
took me a minute.
Made no sense.
So after a while, I get why. Because this show, at its core, as essence, what it was trying to get at was about persecution, right? This was about the DODC, like, persecuting this Pakistani culture in this town. And actually, like, what better way to introduce the X-Men or the idea of the X-Men, the mutants, right? Or the mutant gene, than in a show about, at its core, persecution. Now, would I have wanted them to do something way more fun, like, I don't know, Deadpool or 1,000 other million different ways? I thought they were going to introduce
Well,
mutants
Deadpool's not mutant either.
and yeah, but he's a good way to introduce mutants. He's in the Marvel. He was in the Fox universe, and kind of like they had the crossovers. They had the one obligatory scene for a Deadpool movie.
Well, if they want to like do the persecution, they maybe like Storm, because like she's from Africa. There's a lot of Muslims there, so maybe she joins the mosque, or she's a friend of Nakia. So this is my friend Aurora, I think is her real name, and he's like, "Hey, I wasn't expecting there to be rain today." He's like,
exactly, right?
That
Like
would be cool.
introduce an X-Men character and throw them in the Young Avengers. Like, I think I understand
And-
like why they did it at the end of the day, but I think there's probably 1,000 better ways they could have introduced.
You gotta remember that
1,000 more exciting ways.
And you gotta remember, Kamala isn't even a mutant in the comics. She's a new human.
Yeah, so like they really went out of their way for this one. Although I'm totally fine not having both.
Yeah,
like, I don't want Inhumans and mutants, especially because like the only reason.
Oh, I want Inhumans.
Really?
Especially after reading the Paul Jenkins series. Yeah, it's like.
Did you watch the TV show?
Oh no, nothing like that.
Then shut your damn mouth.
No,
I want Inhumans. Watch the TV show.
Read the Paul Jenkins comic.
Well, I'll tell you right now, based on metrics, we will never get more Inhumans content because no one watched the Inhumans TV show. So
exactly.
if you want to see,
knows what it is.
If you want to see Inhumans, if you want to see Black Bolt in all of its non-talking glory, go check out that terrible TV show.
Well, you gotta remember, Black Bolt was in Doctor Strange, and we actually saw a decent version of Black Bolt in that. So, like, I think that they maybe leave the door open for they want to bring the Inhumans in, but maybe after Fantastic Four is introduced.
Wait, is Inhumans like based around incest? Is that why people don't watch it?
No.
Inhumans are like mutants, but they're like in this isolated city called Adelon, and instead of being born with their powers, they're exposed to these things called the Terrigen Mists, which give them their powers.
So basically, the Kree experimented on them like thousands and thousands of years ago, and they live on the moon. Like, they have really fun stories. But basically, what happened was Marvel sold the movie rights to X-Men, right? And then got into the movie business, and they didn't want to keep creating free content for this company that has the X-Men franchise, i.e. Fox, right? So what they did was they're like, hey, we have this crazy idea we came up with in the 60s called the Inhumans. They're kind of like mutants. So instead of X-Men, we're going to push Inhumans. And so you got a huge push for humans for like 20 plus years. But I think we're going, I think that's done. Now that X-Men's back into the fold, like, let's go, baby. Jean
they've
Grey.
completely disowned the Inhumans. Like, they had these events. They had like Avengers vs. Inhumans, Inhumanity, Uncanny Inhumans. Black Bolt had his own series. I think Karnak had his own series. And then as soon as they got the X-Men rights back, it was like, now it's Avengers versus X-Men versus Eternals. And it's like the Inhumans have been are a complete afterthought now. And first of all, Inhumans, I think we can all agree X-Men are better than Inhumans, but Inhumans are way, way better than the Eternals.
Yes.
Let's put it that way.
So Inhumans, they have different story lines. I mean, you could point to the best Inhumans arc and then the worst X-Men arc and be like, look, Inhumans are better, right? I mean, you can do that for anything. But I think there is a really fun universe out there in Inhumans, so I wouldn't be opposed to exploring it, but at the same time,
it's
give
really,
me X-Men. I want some X-Men. Daddy, they're home. They're back into the fold. It's been 20 years, and the X-Men have come home. Let's put them on the silver screen.
But do we really want the watered down, Disney approved, X-Men?
Ooh, bitch, that's all you got. Do you think Disney's ever gonna give up this IP?
I mean, we're never going to get Berserker Wolverine like we got in the Logan movie. First let me rephrase that. We're not going to get Berserker Wolverine in his costume like we always wanted. We're not going to get what
about Berserker? What about just regular? You think we're ever going to get Wolverine in his regular costume? And his
I would hope so.
We haven't so far. He's got 10 movies and he's never worn his comic outfit.
I know, and this is not the best. I mean, that's probably the only thing I'm looking forward to. Once we see the Disney-fied Wolverine, but it's kind of they're doing Blade now. I don't know how Blade's gonna work as PG-13.
It's gotta be R.
Deadpool. Yeah. I don't know how it's gonna work.
Or it's gonna be all off camera. He's gonna walk into a room of vampires, and it's just gonna cut away till afterwards.
He's just instead of taking out a sword, he just takes out a clove of garlic. And he just waves it around, and that's how he fights vampires now. Just very, not bloody.
Hey guys, I thought
of something that Disney is doing. So they will release all these PG-13 things, and once all the audience is all used up, they get all the teeny boppers are all consumed up. They'll sell the rights to all this stuff to somebody who's actually going to make some good films, and then our generation is gonna be like, ooh, let's eat all that up again. So they're probably just gonna double dip on us. Let's get real.
It's not a bad
sell
idea,
Marvel
but
anytime soon.
Disney's a lot like that old joke from the aughts period, and that's like, I love about college girls, like, I keep getting older, they stay the same age. Like, I think that would be equivalent to, like, Disney. Like, I love about American consumers, like, I keep getting older, they stay the same age. Like, the reason why Disney's so successful is because you can still watch Bambi today, right? And it's good, right? You can still watch the original Lion King today. And, like, those movies are decades old. But that's just, like, how good
some
the
of
story
those
is.
movies that everybody had on VHS of a kid.
Yeah, like, did you show you, like, what am I going to show my kid first? Like,
Lion King.
I never
or
had
the-
Bambi. I had
and-
Fox and the Hound, which is probably just sad.
But still Disney. See, still Disney, right? And as we grow older, we're just watching Disney content. If anything, like, to your point, I think Disney will adapt and will develop a more mature content side as its core audience grows up. Especially the core Disney Plus audience grows up. I think the content's gonna, it's gonna turn.
Yeah, what if they make like Disney Dark Side?
They have that in other countries. It's called like Disney Star or whatever, but it's basically like Disney After Dark, where all like the R-rated stuff. I believe in the States we call that Hulu, because Disney owns Hulu.
Yeah, and they had like a few shows like
MODOK.
Runaways, and I don't think any of the Marvel Hulu shows were any good. Like there was like
there was one
for
funny scene of MODOK. One scene that really made me laugh. Not sure it was worth watching the other 13 episodes, but one scene.
They made 13 episodes of that? Oh.
I think it was a whole series.
Wow. But yeah, I think like the Runaways show. I don't know. I never saw it.
Power Man's in that. Isn't Power Man getting his own TV show spinoff?
You mean Luke Cage? He's called Power Man.
With so much quiet.
Oh no, maybe I'm not thinking of Power Man because obviously Luke Cage already has his own.
I think like the last Marvel Hulu show was the Hellstrom, like Damon Hellstrom, the son of Satan. Very obscure comic character. But I think I watched 2 episodes of that. It wasn't that great.
So, speaking of upcoming Marvel TV shows, what do you guys think about I Am Groot?
Oh, I don't know what that's.
I am
basically
not looking forward to that. I am looking forward to that. What do you guys think?
I think they're trying to sell. More
Groot
baby Groot
action
toys in time for Christmas.
I mean, I have a dancing Groot toy.
They're trying to get the next. What do you call it?
No, I haven't seen that.
No. They're trying to get the next Tickle Me Elmo. They want to Tickle Me Groot. And it's kind of like I wonder if those pillows wings sold a lot from Shang-Chi.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Wonder
You're
Man.
trying to do Disney. I'm not buying it.
Not Power Man, but Wonder Man is who I was thinking of.
Wait, so
Oh
I Am
yeah.
Groot is
I think they're gonna do like
It's going back
they're
to
gonna
Baby
do like
Groot.
Say that again.
No,
Rob?
he's probably hopefully he's gonna be an adult Groot now because he was teenage Groot in Endgame.
I was just looking at the. Oh, when I googled it,
I Am
it's
Groot.
showing 5
it's probably
original
gonna be
shorts
Teenage
starring
Groot.
Baby Groot. So it's going back to Baby Groot. It says.
Gosh, I hope not. I was like,
If they go back to Baby Groot,
I
you're
miss,
trying to
like-
do James Gunn. I did not like.
I
Volume
miss
2 that
adult
much.
Groot.
Yeah,
Right.
it was like that was a great character, and like, we haven't seen him since 2014. It's been so what 6? It's been 8 years since we've seen that character.
Too damn
put
long.
weight to my life with
Yeah.
these.
Yeah, let him grow up already. Don't try
I
to make
know.
yourself a Baby Yoda.
Damn
I know
you
we
tree that lives for eternity. Why can't you grow up in a 5-year period?
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so Miss Marvel, she's a mutant, and then the after credit scene had Carol Danvers.
Interesting.
Just because-
So it looked like in the comics, when she first develops her powers, she turns into the form of Carol Danvers. But that is not what happened here, because Carol Danvers clearly looks very confused, and I would be too if I just randomly disappeared and I showed up and I was just in a room that I wasn't aware of, covered with my name and photos. I'd be like, I was just kidnapped by an evil superhero genius kid. I'd be very scared as Captain Marvel.
Yeah, so I don't really like her new costume either. It looks very cheap. I think like Kamala's actual cosplay costume looked better than her costume at the very end.
Ooh, burn.
Oh,
I mean, find me someone online who liked that costume, or who's like, nice new costume. No.
Well, it's only new so they can sell more action figures.
merchandise.
Right, they can sell the clothing change kit. Yeah.
Yeah. They always had to have a new costume. This one I don't think was an improvement. It just seemed like a more.
I
It just seemed like.
mind
I mean,
this.
if anything, it looked more comfortable for what's her name, Brie Larson.
Good for her. She's
So, I mean, at least
flying
I'm-
around space. She needs to be comfortable.
Yeah, but it just wasn't as good as the costume in the first movie, or the one in Endgame, or whatever. So I think after this, I think She-Hulk is next in August.
Yeah.
So we got a while. So
Guys, I'm so exhausted. Are you exhausted? Like, I love me some Marvel, and this is cool and blah blah blah. But like, damn, like, be careful what you wish for, right? Like, this is the longest phase
it's
of
like
my
easy,
life.
like easy Feige. I know, This
This is so much like. Let's get to season.
still
Let's get to
have,
phase 5 already.
We still have what do you call it? Black Panther coming out
and the
later this
Guardians of
year.
the Galaxy. We have a holiday special coming out.
Oh, that's right. And there's gonna be a Werewolf by Night's Halloween special.
How good is that holiday special gonna be? I mean, like, remember, like, Star Wars, we're talking peak trilogies is amazing, like, everyone's favorite thing in the world. And, like, their holiday special was terrible. So, like,
That's the whole point. That's why he's
Yeah.
doing it, because it's a parody of that. Which
do you
was a
think this
parody
is
of
gonna
Star
be, like,
Wars anyway.
purposefully bad as well? Or do you think this is gonna be, like, a bunch of, like, random stories
Probably. I'm
kinda put
guessing. I
together?
don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's definitely going to be like in that vein, but I don't know. I'm just like, Marvel just needs to like focus on good storytelling and not being funny.
I mean, like, just Secret Wars. Just give me the Secret Wars. That's all I want to see.
I don't even.
Like,
I don't even care about that. I don't want any more like this universe stuff. I just want like standalone movies that are good. Like
boo, you old curmudgeon. It's too late. We can't go back. We can't go back.
Yes,
That's
they
a
can.
Terrible impression.
Look at Moon Knight. They did it, although that wasn't that very good either. It was like,
Look at this. Look at this average TV show you guys produced.
Yeah, I mean, if they just like done like a straight up adaptation of the Doug Munch. His name is hard to pronounce. The creator from the comic from the '80s. They just did that. It would have been great. But they had like this whole
You gotta spice
thing
it
with
up
Egyptian
for the
gods.
fans.
They didn't spice it up. They dulled it. If anything.
Well, wait,
But,
didn't
I
the
don't
Sandman
know, I
come
mean-
out? Is that out?
It's coming out in August too. So
But we're still waiting for that. I
I don't know.
forgot.
I'm,
we were waiting. Or
Are we gonna?
Yeah, I mean,
are we gonna
that
cover
could-
that on the podcast?
Yeah. I mean, I think people have been waiting for it a long time, and hopefully it'll be a good adaptation. But I think Stranger Things definitely made people like Netflix more. I think the
Keep
Resident
running
Evil,
up that hill. Netflix, man, they keep running up
Yeah.
that hill. Keep subscribing to that company.
I hear the new Resident Evil show isn't that good, which is a shame because
What is happening with that series? Like, so I'm not super familiar or with it, but like every movie is terrible. How do they keep getting greenlit for sequels?
it's separate from like
Spooky
it's separate
clothing.
from the Mila Jovovich
Yeah.
series. It's like a new interpretation, but it's also bad.
Yeah,
So it's
and
like,
that's what I'm
they
saying
just-
though. Like, if you have 5 failed movies, like, you're gonna make a failed TV show. I.e., look at the Terminator franchise. Like, oh, did you think the problem? Like they rebooted the third movie like 3 different times. Like, what other franchise has 3 different third movies in the trilogy set? Right.
Second one
They
was
just
the
they just
best one.
time. I mean, that's the great thing about time travel. You just keep going back and like, oh, forget that last movie didn't happen. This movie is the real finale of the trilogy. Oh, no, we fucked it up. Let's try it again.
Oh,
Oh, no, we'll just do a
not that
TV
one.
show.
Yeah, so it's I don't know. So hopefully Sandman will be good. I really don't have anything else to say about Miss Marvel. She'll be in the new. I think the Marvels is what it's called. They're not
She'll
even
be
calling
back
it Marvel too.
in the Marvels.
Did y'all know Kamala meant Marvel in was it Urdu?
I
Pakistani?
didn't, and I can't
What?
believe she didn't either. You're telling me
Oh,
that
that's true. Yeah.
like these parents who love their kid and her superhero obsession so much that they would dress up as the Hulk to go to a superhero con with them, right? You're telling me like, hey, if I walked into my daughter's room and I saw the same superhero covering 80% of her wall, I would be like, oh, who is your favorite superhero? And she'd be like, Miss Marvel. And then I'd be like, oh, that's funny. Your name translated is Marvel, right? Like, how is this conversation not already happened? Like, I understand it hasn't happened, so it could happen on camera for us to watch, and I really enjoyed it, and I love the dad. I get all that. But in reality, dumb.
She should have known, like...
She should have known.
As soon as she was born. And I'm sure she knows some Urdu or some Pakistani anyway, because her parents are both immigrants. And, like, you know, her whole, like, she knows a lot of immigrants, and they probably speak a lot of Pakistani at the mosque. So, yeah, that was...
Yeah, or
another...
It's also 2024. Like, you've never Googled your name before or what your name means? I'm still trying to figure out what tip means. I Google it every time it comes on the podcast. I'm like, tip origin name, and then just Google comes back. It's like unknown. I tried to Bing it once and then blew up my whole computer.
Well, it's just means just the tip.
It's just a tip.
It means justice.
It's just a tip. That's exactly what
it means. Justice in Aramean. All right. So
pivoting.
So, yeah, Miss Marvel was a show. I think I liked it better than Falcon and Winter Soldier, actually.
Yeah,
Still.
no, definitely. No. The question is, was this better than Hawkeye? That's the competition. It's obviously better than Falcon.
But Hawkeye wasn't great. I mean, Hawkeye was at least better than this. It was definitely better. It was definitely better than Falcon Winter Soldier. It's still the worst. I'd probably rank it Loki. I'll go WandaVision.
Yeah,
Moon Knight.
feels.
Yeah.
Remember, like, go back and listen to our old podcast. Like, remember how fascinating WandaVision was when we were trying to figure out what the hell was happening?
Yeah, it was like, that was,
it was
fun.
cool.
Just go through the journey.
It was cool going
was
episode by episode,
right?
Because it was so weird, and you had to try to figure out what was going on. I kind of liked how they
Please
didn't
stand by.
reveal anything.
And it was like the very first Marvel TV show too, so it was like unprecedented that we were getting this.
Yeah, it's how
right, and it
how
was
this
so
started.
edgy and different. And I was like, "Yo, if Marvel wants to do this for another 100 years, I'm on board." And it's like 6 months later, and it's like, "No more Marvel." I tapped out.
And that's why I think we liked Loki so much, because it was so different. It was just,
yeah, Loki.
And why we liked the
Loki
beginning of
was
this
definitely
show.
one of my
The beginning
favorites.
of this series was phenomenal. Like, don't forget, like, I remember if you go back 6 episodes on the podcast, I was like standing up screaming the praise of this, and I was like, Marvel has entered a new era of television. And maybe I spoke too soon. 5 episodes later, they are
I think
that far.
they are back to the same Marvel.
Major. Some eras last longer than other eras. Okay,
Yeah, that was like the Age of Ultron. That's how long that. That's how long.
The Age
that
of
whole
Ultron.
era
apparently the
lasted.
showrunner left after 1 episode. So the showrunner, who was like the producer, first episode, left at the first episode, I think. So, but yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, it
The
wasn't
the
as
show
many of the
existed.
same effects.
I'm sure some Pakistani people enjoyed it, so that's good for them. Sort of like when we were in the theater, we saw some, girls in there, and they probably enjoyed it more than we enjoyed the Captain Marvel movie. So, if they, they
and
enjoyed it just because.
that's the whole point. You're not gonna relate to everyone all the time.
That's true, but I will also say that the shows the flaws this show had, it was not because that the actress was
Right.
female or Pakistani or Muslim. That wasn't
No.
the issue. The
No,
issue was just like
just writing. Yeah,
just the
it was
writing.
just writing.
So like the race, gender, religion, that's all secondary. The character. Like there's a lot of things that, in terms of storytelling, that matter much more. So, but yeah, I mean, this could have been a lot better, and I probably could have enjoyed it a lot more if they just
movie.
had it.
This
It's
could
like
have been a movie.
Kamala, as good as we want, but Kamala, this really does not have a whole lot of. She has not been around that long, so I don't think they have a whole lot to work with. And they radically changed so much of what was established in the comics already. They sort of had to make it up as they went along.
What would have been cool, right? Because you're absolutely right. They haven't had Miss Marvel that long, right? And like, let's be honest, like the extremely angry white fan section of the internet wouldn't care if you mixed up a little bit of Kamala Khan's like backstory. Like, instead of throwing Miss Marvel there at the end, right? Instead of her getting attacked by the DODC inside of a high school where they literally use C4 to blow open the gym doors of a school. Like whenever you're attaching C4 to break into a school, like you've gone too far as a person. Just side note for any of the listeners out there, in case that's like their day job. But what they could have done is they could have had the DODC capture Kamala Khan, right? And at the end, right, her lawyer shows up, and who is it? She-Hulk. No, right? Like something like that. Like they could like
they play the X-Men theme anyway.
Mix that.
Feige's like, I don't give a fuck at this point.
It's like, guys, it's like there's just an error. Like someone like changed the post-credit scene, but they didn't change the audio.
I don't know. I think like Feige's just like it's never any better than it was. You know, I'm lucky.
It's gotta be exhausting.
Well, it's just like he's so insistent on making everything like connected to something else. It's like just make a standalone show.
You know what this reminds me of?
Reference.
I have recently started a new adventure that everyone persecuted and made fun of me for when I pitched it to them. I recently, and it took me a long time. Like I really had to come to grips with this. It was one of the hardest things I've had to do in the last year or so. But I started rewatching Game of Thrones. Right, and like I really hesitated on this because I know how bad like season 7 and 8 is, right? But you know what?
It starts off good.
I forgot how good the first fucking season was. Like I remember, like the first 5 seasons were golden, but I didn't remember. And I'm like, I'm like halfway through rewatching it, but I forgot how perfect this first season was. Like that, it's so good, and it's just a shame that like most people like we're not rewatching this like every 5 years. Or whatever. We're not going to be rewatching this every 5 years for the rest of our lives because, like, the last 2 seasons were so bad, and I hope that's not how Marvel fizzles out.
I mean, I think they're already on that way there because
but
I think, like
they're going to make this for the next
So will there
4
ever
years.
be a finale of Game of Thrones? Does that writer just like stop?
Well,
there's a finale.
He's got to write 2 more books, or he's got to publish 2 more books.
Take his money and run.
But I don't know. I think I read the first book, or I think I read the first book and a half, so I could at least watch the first season. But I was just like, I'm gonna read the books before I watch this show. And I think I watched up to what I read, and then I stopped. I think there were a few things they changed.
I'm so sorry about my spoiler.
Oh, I already know everything.
Did you?
Everything.
That's
I know, like
my
Greyjoy
favorite.
gets his wiener cut off, and that's all I remember.
So one of my favorite fan theories is that right before Ed Stark dies, gets beheaded, that he wargs into a pigeon, and then later on in the book, Arya catches and eats a pigeon, and the fan theory is that she eats her dad. And I was like, yeah, George R. Martin, you son of a bitch. Like, well, why not? Like the fan theories and lore behind like A Song of Ice and Fire is just mind blowing.
I know some.
Like they should create like Disney should buy Game of Thrones. Don't do that, Disney. But someone should buy the Game of Thrones and just create like a what if universe and just like play out the 10,000 different fan theories. Think about it. You could have like a 20-30 minute episode.
I did like
TV based around this anthology of theories.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot more Marvel coming out this rest of this year. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. We'll see.
Nope.
Wakanda Forever is gonna be very, I think, controversial, just because Chadwick Boseman won't be in it.
I don't think it'll be controversial. I think it'll be sad. How are you gonna live up to that? Like, he was so good.
Well, they're gonna have Namor, and apparently Namor is gonna be like Aztec or something. I saw some like fan art, and he's like there's an Aztec in, because they hired a Mexican actor to play Namor, and I don't know, Atlantis is going to be off the coast of Mexico now, I guess. So we'll see how that pans out. But I don't really have anything else to add.
What would you?
I guess
I want you to add your overall score. What do you say out of 10? Let's go. Let's do round table.
I'll give it a
start.
7. I'm
Give
good
it a 7. Yeah, 6.5. 7 seems good. I would say it's better than Iron Fist, but not as good as Luke Cage season 1.
Oh yeah, definitely better than Iron Fist.
Long live Iron Fist.
And
go fuck.
that was another disappointment.
Hey,
Well,
they're making Iron Fist, aren't they? But they're recasting.
I think they want to cast an Asian. There's already like an Asian guy playing Iron Fist in the comics now, so you know.
Yeah.
But we'll
reportedly,
see.
they're recasting for Luke Cage.
I mean,
and Iron
they have
Fist.
X-Men. They have X-Men and Fantastic Four. They don't ever need to do Iron Fist again. Like, and you know, I think Iron Fist, the name has been so tainted by that awful show that, you know.
And plus, you have Shang-Chi. So
Now they
like,
have Shang-Chi now, so there's like
Yeah,
already
so, like, what
another,
else do you need?
martial arts hero.
I've watched Iron Fist
so-
500 times.
I know, it's like, you want to talk about torturing yourself, Major, watch Iron Fist.
you know,
If
I
it's
really
right.
enjoyed the
Eyelids
beginning of
open.
Iron Fist.
Yeah. So, Iron Fist had potential. I mean, I didn't hate the actor.
Yeah, the first
He was
couple episodes like
gassed.
have potential. It's just
It was just like the
bad
writing was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could have been better, but like the whole thing about Iron Fist, if you read like the early issues, it's like a revenge story. He's going back to avenge his parents' death, who was killed by Harold Beecham, who was in the first, the first season. But but like in the show, he has no reason to go back except like, hey, how's Howard doing, or how's Harold doing? And like, there's really, you know, there's like an actual reason for him to go back in the comics. I think the guy who, it's funny, the guy who was the showrunner for Iron Fist was the showrunner for Inhumans. Another, home run for Marvel. So
You know, say what you want about Marvel and Disney. Way to give these writers second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth chances on these projects.
I
like
think-
if you had Inhumans and Luke or Iron Fist next to your name, I wouldn't let you touch a Marvel script for as long as you worked.
well, they made the brilliant idea, I think, of giving him the showrunner job before Iron Fist came out. I think. So like Iron Fist was like
Full of
already
Star Wars.
being filmed, and they
Fired
just like, oh, we'll have you do Inhumans. So yeah, it was. I don't think the showrunner. I think his name was Scott. But he also did the last 3 seasons of Dexter, which you know how much people love those.
I was gonna say those were not
Another
well
show like Game of
received,
Thrones that sort of fizzled out. It didn't end well. And those were actually based off books too, but they only like adapted the first one, I think, and they just did their own thing after season 1.
Well, speaking
and
of
New Blood was
adapting
good up
books-
until the last episode. What was that?
Speaking of adapting books, we got a trailer for Ring of Power this week. Were you able to take a look at that?
Well, that's not adapting a book. It's basically just a show.
And it's based on the
from the
Silmarillion,
appendix.
isn't it?
Well, the Silmarillion's like there's like only like a very small portion of it devoted to the Second Age, which I think this show
Right.
takes place in. So this isn't really based on like a J.R.R. Tolkien. It's like inspired by the world.
Right.
J.R.R.
Oh, so this
Tolkien
is like
and
based
stuff.
on the world of.
I mean, I think some
Middle-earth
events in the
and-
Silmarillion will be adapting this, like the fall of Numenor, the island, and like Galadriel. But I don't know. I saw the trailer and what they're all looking at, like this weird meteor, which is like they stole that from Game of Thrones, right? Because there's like a meteor in that. At least in the second book, there is. Like everyone's watching this meteor in the sky.
Right.
So they're already ripping off Game of Thrones, which is like basically the whole reason they're making the show.
Or
anyway, but-
or is this from the opinion that J.R. or Tolkien, the J.R.R.
I think they're
Tolkien
probably just-
wrote back in the '60s, and then George R.R. Martin is stealing from them? Well, this is a classic Star Wars Dune situation, where everyone's
Well,
like, "Hey, Dune's ripping off Star Wars," and then you're like, "Wait a second, oh, just kidding. Check the timeline."
Well, basically, like J.R.R. Martin just ripped off the War of the Roses from English history.
Yeah, which is totally
through
fine.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
You
I
can,
mean,
it's
like-
fine to rip off history, but ripping off another fictional work, that's good. But I don't know. I
You
saw
can
the
pay
trailer.
homage.
I
He's
felt
got a
nothing.
lot of Lovecraftian theory and lore, and like from like Esros and like the east of it or whatever. Like even like a bunch of fish people call like the deep ones. So like
And
there's
J.R.R.
definitely
Tolkien?
no George R.R. Martin and A Song of Ice and Fire. Like there's like a ton of like Lovecraftian like homages in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so they really should have waited until they finished the books for adapting this, but Rings of Power trailer.
wait for Tolkien to finish the books.
It's coming out what, September? Oh yeah, I got Tolkien to finish that second trilogy. He started like a new trilogy, I think, after Lord of the Rings. It was called like the New Shadow or something like that. But
He said it was
wrote,
too
like, a few pages.
dark. Yeah, he wrote it. He was starting to write a sequel series for Lord of the Rings, which I think does not need it. Perfection. Mwah. Like chef's kiss. Like what a trilogy right there.
Man,
first season's
speaking
good
of,
enough, you don't
speaking
need
of
to do another
Tolkien, how about those South Park episodes?
I see what you
I don't
did
know
there.
anyway, but-
Nice
Well,
segue.
I saw the first one with Mr. Peepee hires Man Bear Pig. Was there a second episode after that one?
Yeah, there's 2 episodes.
Oh, okay. I
They're
haven't
pretty
seen the second
funny.
one. Don't give it up. Don't give it away.
Oh, okay.
So,
But,
speaking of the streaming wars, my wife just keeps quote unquote forgetting to put the Paramount information in, so I have not caught up on South Park yet, but I can. I've been hearing some good things so far.
Apparently, Paramount Plus was the highest performing subscriber service this year.
I think I told you that. And I think it's Halo, right? We all watched it. We all know
Amazingly.
it's that amazing show.
I will say Halo
there's
is
so
a
much
masterpiece
hate for
compared to Miss Marvel, though. I think we can all agree on that.
I thoroughly enjoyed Halo more than Miss Marvel.
I liked it
Yeah.
overall.
And what was another
yeah.
show we discussed that we didn't
Hold
like so
on,
much?
guys. We didn't even talk about the contrivances of Miss Marvel. So, like, they're in a high school, and then, like, Zoe is there. Why is Zoe
Oh,
there?
yeah,
And then
yeah,
her
yeah, she's-
brother just shows up. Oh, I was just sneaking in through the bathroom door. Like, what is this ridiculous thing going on? Sorry. Anyway,
Oh, yeah, that made no sense.
fucking
It's
writing.
Like, I know. It's like, we need your brother to be
Like,
there.
just have the brother leave with her, like,
I
when
know.
they go to the high school. Why would anyway? Stupid.
Like, maybe have
writing.
Zoe working after school.
Why
Like,
is
just have a
Zoe-
reason.
Zoe is what? That's a misdemeanor, a felony, breaking into a school. At least a
Well,
misdemeanor.
they're all committing misdemeanors. Or
Well,
whatever.
yeah. Well, they're also like, yeah, but the main group is also running for their lives, so that trumps a misdemeanor. She is committing a misdemeanor to what? TikTok? Like, I don't know. Like, back when I was in high school, all the cool kids didn't break into school to film themselves. Like, they usually try to stay away
By
from
themselves too. Like,
School. Yeah. I mean, like, no, don't get me wrong, listeners. The
It's
cool
like-
kids are the ones who study and stay in school. Those are the
Yeah,
cool
it's
ones.
like girls don't even go to the bathroom by themselves. You know, why would one sneak into a school by herself
That's another
and just
great point.
and just happen to run into
Well, because she
her-
can't share the
her
views. It's
classmate she
TikTok.
hates. Anyway. Also, I
Sorry,
think like her and
didn't mean
Nikki
to
are gay
derail.
in the comics or something.
I
And they
know.
didn't really. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, Miss Marvel happened, and I don't know if
It
there's gonna be a
happened,
second season.
and it's gonna happen again.
We got She-Hulk. So do you think Miss Marvel will be better than She-Hulk? I think
How
She-Hulk's
can
gonna be
she?
better.
How is She-Hulk gonna be good? Like, and I don't mean that like misogynistically. Like, I know that whenever a white male dislikes something new in like Marvel, whatever, it's automatically like anti-woke or anti-soy boy, whatever. No, my question is like, based on the lack of competency I've seen from Disney Plus, how is this gonna be good? They don't have 100 years of source material that they can rip off of for these great ideas. Like,
I'll say She-Hulk has definitely had more solo series than Miss Marvel, so they do have more to work with in terms of She-Hulk.
but are they gonna do a
lore,
good job? Is
but
she gonna break the fourth
it's
wall?
up to them,
Are we
you
gonna
know.
get a lady Deadpool? Because that would be fantastic, right? Or is this gonna be
I mean-
a CGI swing and a miss?
If she like looks at the camera and like talks to the audience while she's like in court, then I'd be like in Goodfellas, I'm like, no.
But you
But,
can't handle the fourth wall break.
That's from A Few Good Men.
I know,
Goodfellas-
but it's
Goodfellas
a court,
is like,
it's a court scene. I know it's a court scene.
Now it's all. What do you say? Like we paid off the lawyers, the cops, the judges, and now it's all over. And that was like when he broke the fourth wall. He just looks at the audience.
All right,
Um,
all right.
Okay, now you're doing Lincoln Lawyer.
I
No, wait,
know.
you're doing Days Confused. You're doing Days Confused. You tricked me. Anyway, yeah. So She-Hulk.
Yeah, great
Please-
question.
Please
So,
be
no,
good.
Please be good.
It looks entertaining.
Go
also,
She-Hulk.
You know
I
what?
don't know.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, fool me 5, 7, 8 times, shame on me. So I'm gonna temper my expectations. I maybe won't stand up and scream from the clouds that Marvel has reinvented themselves after the first episode of She-Hulk. If it's really good, maybe I will reserve final judgment.
I mean, if this
to the
has
last
another Matt
episode.
Murdock cameo in it, then it's all will be forgiven.
All,
regardless of
dude,
quality.
just all will be forgiven. Like, yeah, dude, how great would that be? Like, they're like, all right, we're actually doing a social experiment where we're creating crappy TV shows, and then at the very end, we're just gonna add Xavier and Matt Murdock and see if this will turn the
And
favor.
Deadpool too, so that everyone will love the show in the last.
I
few
can't wait
moments.
for Deadpool 3. Like, I think
Rated
that would
R
be testament.
Deadpool too.
Yeah.
Oh
awesome.
no, PG-13 Deadpool 3.
No, Deadpool 3
No,
is
I heard
definitely going to be rated
I
R.
read that it's going to be rated R.
You heard. You know.
Yeah,
we'll
I heard
see.
from Ryan Reynolds or whatever.
Yeah,
I think Ryan Reynolds said like Deadpool could work as a PG-13 movie.
Well, yeah, and they
No,
did
I
that
think
for Fox,
no,
that
he did
was
it like
just
after
Variety.
Deadpool 2.
Variety.
Deadpool 2.
Variety's reporting that Deadpool 3 will not be Disney-fied. Writer promises
Yeah, that's what I was reading.
absolutely rated R.
Yeah, that's what I was reading.
What was
Because I
it?
This is
remember
from
him saying
June
will not be
6th.
Disney-fied.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, that
I
was
would
the
love
last
to be
one.
proven wrong. I'm just like, I've had my heart broken already so much by
You know
Marvel.
what? I don't blame the
But they
skepticism
yeah.
because this is Marvel 101. They have the writers and liars lie to our faces up until the very end, right? Like, what's his name? Andrew Garfield was not in Spider-Man No Way Home, right? Like, because that movie got delayed. So for 2 years, he went around lying to people saying he wasn't in that movie instead of like the 6-month press tour junket it was supposed to be, right? And I get why he did that.
Yeah, they want it to be a big surprise.
But like, yeah, but at the same time, like maybe just don't do the interview, right? Or maybe just that question can't be like the question.
I know they shouldn't have a publicist there with them saying you can't ask about this or this or this.
Yeah, but like, hey,
Like,
we're trying to keep this
remember-
under wraps.
Remember in The Boys where like the interviewer asked Homelander a question and Ashley just blows up in her face after.
Yeah,
like,
she's like,
you
"Are you the
are-
stupidest person alive?"
Yeah, it's like they're supposed to like telling the interviewers you can't talk about this or that, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's just bad publicists. You know, they're the
Like,
ones.
look,
There's
not
supposed to
to
be a
get-
barrier. There's
not
supposed
to
be
get
a barrier between
political.
the actor and the press.
Not to get
You know.
political, but if Trump can just get up in the middle of an interview because he doesn't like the questions being asked, then my Marvel actors should be able to as well.
Yeah, that's what Robert Downey Jr. did, but I think that's because the interviewer brought up.
Oh yeah,
his
that
drug
was,
use.
that was just a terrible interviewer. Like that was
Yeah.
just a bad. Like that was
Well,
terrible. Like, I
Quentin
was
Tarantino
walked
did the
out,
same
too.
thing. I think he walked out, but like he was like asking him about like his movies, and Quentin Tarantino got pissed off about it. So yeah, I think that interviewer like screwed up twice, but I don't know. At least he didn't ask like, so does Ultron kill you? Is Thanos going to show up in this?
So how many
Like, if
years?
then-
How long is the Age of Ultra exactly?
Yeah, it's really like a few days, really.
It's really like a week. It's like the week of Ultra, but that didn't test
Wouldn't it
very
ma- it
well
would-
with
it-
the audiences.
It would have made way more sense if they just called it like Ultron Rising. You know, that would have made more sense than Age of Ultron. Even though
The
Rising is like
of Ul-
overused.
The Rise of Ultron.
Even though it's like, you know, or really Ultron uploaded. You know? There you
There
go.
you go. I don't know. If he did the
That would've
Rise of
made
Ultron, it would have been really funny for like Ultron get defeated and like Vision shows up, and then someone's like, "Who is this?" And he's like, "I'm Vision, Vision Skywalker." Like, that would just be a really funny cut.
Oh, yeah.
You get it
Yeah.
from the Rise of Skywalker. She's Rey Skywalker. Whatever. The fans at home are laughing their asses off. They love that joke. They know how stupid that line was. They get it. They understand highbrow satirical humor.
Yeah, it's like it's Star Wars. You'll eat it up. That's Disney's motto. It's like we can produce anything with Star Wars on it, and you'll watch
You
it.
guys are gonna buy it, and you
Yeah.
know it.
Like we're gonna be watching Cassian Andor the first day, even though that trailer was like, "What is this? Why does this show exist?"
Oh, Rob,
And I'll be watching it the first day.
let me ask you this, Robbie. Andor, Cassian Andor, is that a person or a place?
He's a person.
I'm not asking you, Forrest.
Oh, yeah, quiz. Is it a person or a place,
Oh.
Robbie?
Well,
Damn.
I guess a person then.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I
Oh.
guess it's a person too now. Thanks, Forrest, for
Sorry.
that. All right, well, that's the end of our game show. Robbie's Star Wars lore. Yeah, dude. All right, so forever, like I knew Cassian Andor was a person, and I'd heard about this Andor show on TV, but I thought Andor was also like a planet or whatever. So I thought Andor was like a place, and then it's like, no,
You
it's
thought-
Cassian Andor.
You thought he
And I
was
like,
Cassian of Andor.
I just
Is he-
googled
Cassian.
that. I forgot about this trailer. That's right.
yeah. And I
So-
wouldn't blame you if you didn't watch it.
So I want to talk more about Rings of Power. Psych.
Okay.
But
Oh.
did y'all think?
You got me.
You
You got me.
Were y'all excited from this trailer, or were you just
No.
like, I need
No.
to see the actual
Is it pretty?
episode?
Maybe. Yeah, I need to see way more.
I mean,
What-
some
what
of
is
the
happening?
some of the scenes looked interesting, like the two giant trees. Well, Tip, you're like our resident Tolkien
Yeah.
expert. What are the two
trees
big
are
trees
beautiful.
called? Because those are from the first
Called
stage too.
Ents.
No, they're not Ents.
Oh.
No, they're the
The
trees of
trees.
light.
The trees from Valinor, or like the Valinor, like they're the gods of the Lord.
I don't know. They kind of look like firewood to me. But
did you watch the trailer?
But, yeah.
Don't you like dedicate your life to saving the rainforest or wildlife?
No.
You're just over here making jokes
Yes.
about burning trees down.
Well, anyway, I mean, some of the like the
Terrible.
CGI look good. I mean, they're putting a lot of money in this, but like nothing in the
It's
nothing in the trailer
two
itself made me
trees
excited.
of Valinor.
Yeah. So I know that's like Morgoth steals the jewels from them to make
I
steals the
do have
symbols
to go though.
from the trees. I think.
All right, man.
Okay.
Have a great night. Roll a
I'll
crit
try.
for me.
Yeah, we're about to into. So yeah, Rings of Power that's come out in September. So we got like a few more months, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or D&D starting.
Yeah. What about Way of Water? Did y'all see the trailer for that?
Nope.
That
What
played
is-
in front of Thor.
What is
That
Way of
also
Water?
has not. That does not.
I
have
did
me
get
excited
to
at all either.
I did get to Thor a little late, so I missed.
Oh,
most of the
Avatar. Oh no.
previews.
Okay. Yeah. No. This looks
Oh, yeah.
dumb.
I mean, it's like I think I'll watch it.
I'm
It
a
could be
big
good,
fan.
but
I'm a big fan of the
nothing in the
first
trailer. Nothing in the trailer made me excited.
None.
I'll put it that way. So,
Dude,
same
the
as Rings of Power could be
animation on it
good,
is insane.
but
Like,
it looks like
the
the one
one-
from 2009.
Well,
We
dude,
Avatar?
you should have saw like, the part when they were messing with the water. Like, that
I
was
saw-
all animated too.
I saw it.
So-
It looked like the first movie.
I will say this is something.
There
to
were
note,
parts of it that weren't that good though in the first movie.
talking about looking like the first movie.
I mean,
You know,
it looked-
he had to invent a whole new type of CGI to record this movie.
yeah, visually it's good. No one's arguing that the visually it was amazing.
I know.
It
No,
was-
I'm gonna
I'm just
argue
saying,
that.
like the
I don't think it's
trailer.
that good.
I'm
The
looking
trailer
forward
didn't
to
make
it.
me. The trailer didn't make me think like, oh, the animation's so much better. Like I didn't.
No,
get
that's
that.
what I'm saying. Like I can.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
looked like the movie. It looked like the
Because
animation
we
in the first movie.
Yeah.
If you said
I think
major,
because of they were going into the real details and background of it with Corridor Crew, because I watch all the
because
the VFX artists.
it's gonna be amazing.
When they get into the
IMAX.
details, it makes it a lot more interesting.
Yeah,
It still
like
makes a
how
lot
they
of
did
money.
it.
because you can really like appreciate it.
Yeah, that's
but
what
here's
makes
my
it
thing,
really
like,
cool.
If you said major, you wait 12 years. Like if I came out like the theater for Avatar, you said major, and
13
12
years.
13 years, we're gonna give you a sequel. What do you think it's gonna look like? And I'm gonna say the visual graphics will probably blow my mind. I'm gonna like have a nosebleed from my ear holes, from my eyes. That's how much these graphics are gonna blow my mind. And this just like I don't know, about as impressive as StarCraft 1 cutscene. Not as good. I said as impressive. That's I want to distinguish that. Like I was as impressed as the StarCraft cutaway scenes.
Yeah.
And then as for the story, dear Lord, like this was 13 years ago. I have to go back and watch a 3-hour movie to be able to watch another 3-hour movie. That sounds exhausting. Like, does he
Well,
even care
I
about
love
these
this.
people anymore?
I
He
love
betrayed
I
his
love
race.
the
That's all you
story of the
remember.
first
He
one.
betrayed his race, and he
I don't know. I think we're looking at
he had
a
the
big
blue.
flop.
He had the blue fever. He had the blue fever.
I think we're looking at a big old like anytime you plan 5 movies out, it doesn't seem to go well.
I don't know how they're
Yeah.
gonna do that many movies, but
Especially 10 years apiece.
Let's at least wait for the second one to come out, and then we'll be like, oh, okay.
I'll definitely
Yeah,
watch
anyway.
it.
I told you so.
I've watched
Oh,
the
yeah, we'll
first one a
definitely
bunch
watch
of
it.
times, and I even got the
Well, I'm
first one on Blu-ray.
surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised we even made an hour out of Miss Marvel and some other stuff. But I don't know. A lot of content coming out. We have no idea if it's gonna be good or not. I would hope at least Sandman would be good, although the trailer didn't really blow me away either. So we have like Rings of Power, Sandman, Way of Water, She-Hulk, all underwhelming trailers. But will the actual shows be underwhelming? We'll just see. So,
We'll find out. What are we going to talk about next week?
Andor
Now that-
too, underwhelming trailer. I know. So next week, I guess I'll try to see Thor: Love and Thunder. And just talk about like 2 weeks
so-
after the fact.
You guys hear that here? We'll cover Thor: Love and Thunder on the podcast next week. So make sure you watch it. I would. Rob, would you recommend seeing this in theaters?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like bring your significant other.
Yeah, he was
Right,
really enthusiastic.
I mean, seeing Chris
Sneeze.
Hemsworth, his ass in IMAX, 120 inches or whatever. Or no, I know the screen's way bigger than that. It's like 120 feet. It's a huge screen. No, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I had a lot of fun. I'm aware of the criticisms, but you know what? I sat down, and with my ADHD brain, like just going ham for like the first 2 minutes, and then like once it really got started, like I just the movie was over.
Marvel humor in it. You just
it was fun. It was very tight to watch.
Well, it's just like people were like, it's too funny, but the last movie was funny too. It's like, you know, it's exactly
also
what
it's
I
not
that's what I
too
liked about
funny.
It, though,
It's not too funny. Like like people were saying it's overly funny. I didn't think it was nearly as funny as Ragnarok.
Like if they didn't like.
Well, it's just like you know.
Oh, they
every
didn't like the
character
goats.
has to be funny.
Like, so here's my question. Like, you definitely need to throw in the goats. And if you throw in the goats, the best way to throw in the goats is do the screaming goats. But here's my question to you. Are you going to do the screaming goat gag once and then ruin the continuity for the next 7 times I see these goats that are quiet? Or are you just going to have to fucking play through that screaming goat bit until they run into a moon?
Speaking of goats, have y'all seen the Kingsman? The prequel to the Kingsman?
I haven't.
Okay, well, there's goats in that one, and there's like
is
one
it
that
good?
stabs the bat. Yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. It's one of those movies.
I thought you were
talking
about
movies do not really, keep your expectations, temper them, and I think you'll enjoy yourself a lot.
Oh,
I think
like they were quite tempered.
Yes, I think you'll actually be surprised at how much you like this movie, because it's really like, I thought it was like pretty well written. It's not like
I enjoyed
amazing.
the franchise.
I never saw the second one. I heard it wasn't that good, but I was like, I don't know the point of why they're making it. At least the prequel makes more sense.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the first one too. I didn't even love the first one. I think I actually liked
some
this
awesome fights.
prequel more than I did the first one with
really.
His name Terry.
Oh, that's a high endorsement.
Because I didn't love the first one either. I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it either. But I actually enjoyed this one just because I thought like the storytelling was better. Or like, you know, just the messing with the World War I history was interesting. Just they
less
interplayed it
Samuel Jackson's ridiculous accent.
Oh yeah, that was like a little weird. Anyway, so yeah, go watch The Kingsman, and I guess Major, want to plug our social media?
Absolutely. What do you guys think we should watch next? How did you guys like Miss Marvel? That was weird. Sorry about that. How did you guys like Miss Marvel? You can tweet at us at Zealot Podcast on Twitter, or for our Canadian friends, that's Zealot Podcast on Twitter. Hit us up, tell us what you're watching, tell us what you think we should watch next. You know, what are you enjoying? Should Robbie and I suck it up, and should we better call Saul, or is Forrest just going to be talking about this by himself for the next 20 years? Find out next time on Zeitgeist Zealots.
We should also start Patreon too.
Westworld next week too? Or?
No. We should talk about Westworld because Rob and I are caught up.
I haven't watched episode 4
I'm a season behind, so
Rob, I haven't seen it either, but they didn't know that.
I thought you told them.
Yeah, no. I said, I did, but then I realized
we don't know what we're going to talk about. I think we'll at least do Thor, but you never knows. But anyway, I'm Forrest.
I'm Major.
I'm Robbie.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Hey.
Description.